Welcome, witches and wizards. So let's begin with the Q&A. First question. Efficient. Question number one, and Hugo, you're going to know the answer to this. What is your favorite tarot card? The Two of Pentacles. I love the visual of this card. First of all, I love ferrets. I've always wanted one as a pet, even though, and I'll get to it later, I'm doing a manifestation board. It might as well be my spiritual animal at this point. They're so playful. They enjoy everything that is in front of them. And this card in particular, it's knowing that even if you're frantic and things are upside down, that you're finding a way to balance. You're, from an onlooker's point of view, you should be struggling, and yet you're not. I love that. And yet, for my gilded tarot, it would be the Sun. I don't have that deck on me at the moment, but it would be the Sun card, because it's, when I see it, I know that there's a positive omen. No matter the situation, people can be telling me awful events that are happening, and if I see the Sun, I know for a fact that things are going to get better. And it's such an uplifting card. I feel like I no longer need that uplift, which is why I no longer this was the second deck I got, which is why I no longer needed the card that was as such like an uplift. But those are my two favorite cards, the Sun and the Two of Pentacles. Second question. How do you shuffle your cards? This is almost a stacked question. I don't shuffle my cards. Now, if you have seen me, let me show you again. This is an oracle deck, so it's not a tarot deck. But I spread and pull. That's all I do, and I intuitively choose. And if it's a tarot deck, I will twist and pull intuitively. And yet this isn't. This has always worked for me. I don't know whether it fits because I was inherently lazy or what. I've seen people shuffle and cards go flying everywhere, and it's a beautiful show, but I don't think it adds to the reading. You don't get any information out of the shuffle, and so I minimalize it and streamline it as much as possible. And yet, obviously, if you are a tarot reader yourself and you find yourself falling in love with the process of shuffling, then again, follow your intuition. But in terms of the way that I shuffle, I just spread the cards. One of the most helpful things to a tarot reader is having signs that know that, or that make you feel more confident in yourself. I've tried teaching tarot to people, and yet the biggest stumbling stone people have is their own confidence. And I even know people on Twitch that do this, where I know deep down they have such a strong connection with their cards and they understand them, but they're either scared that the people that they're reading for don't want to hear what they see, or they just don't have the confidence to believe that what they see is right. And so whatever gives you that confidence, if you need a card to fly out for it to be the card, if that's what gives you that confidence, by all means do it. Question number 3. Can tarot really predict the future? This will get many different answers depending on the tarot reader. For me, it doesn't predict the future, but it allows you to predict your mind. Now, what I mean by that is there's some people that believe that our world is fated, and therefore what happens tomorrow is already pre-written. If that is the case, what can tarot teach you or help you with? If you know what's about to come around the corner, it allows you to without changing the situation, it allows you to change your mind. And so I will be able to predict the emotions that you are having currently and will be having in the future. And I'll be able to guide you to see if any of those need changing along the way. We have free will. This is my mentality. If you have a much more free interpretation of our lives, as in if you believe everything is up to us, then tarot has a completely different meaning, and it can predict. It can predict the future, but it will only predict the path that you are currently going down, and therefore it can be changed. But for me personally, it's more it allows you to change your mindset. The fact that two people can experience the exact same thing, two people can be at a party, and one it's the best night of their life and the other it's the worst. And you don't suffer because of what is happening around you. You suffer due to your mindset towards a situation. But I hope that answered that question, whether it predicts the future. Obviously there's no way of proving it, so there's no definitive answer I can give you. Our second last question: how do you connect with your deck? This one is very simple. The best way to connect with your deck is to sleep with it under your pillow. Now there's a quote that may scare some of you, but they say sleep is life flirting with death. And I can't explain it, but when we are sleeping, we are closer to the spirit, to that oneness. And so by sleeping next to our deck, we genuinely form a connection with it that is deeper than any physical effort we could put in when we're awake. Now, things on top of that would be to use it. The more you use it, the more you get to feel the cards, the more you resonate with the pictures. One day there will just be a click, and it will be as if everything the cards are saying makes sense to you. It will be a new language you are learning. Second last question: what's your favorite crystal? It's round my neck. I've got two, but lapis is definitely my favorite one. And then a close second would be, can you see that? This is blue lace. Both are very connected to the throat chakra, and lapis in particular allows you to speak your truth. Now, this is something that I had to learn. I've got a bigger piece here. It's something I had to learn to do big time, especially when I've been doing tarot readings, because I trust my cards enough to not show me anything that the person I'm reading for isn't ready to hear. And that being said, whatever I see, I need to be willing to say it truthfully and honestly. And so blue lace, I keep saying blue lace, lapis gives me that confidence to just speak the truth. All right, final question. How do you charge your crystals? For the majority of you, you're not using them for others. You're not sharing your crystal's energies with many people around you. So you only have to do it once every full moon. Hugo, perfect. Moonlight. Once every full moon. Every full moon, you put it outside and allow the light. And if it's not good underwater, put it on your windowsill. There are some stones, I've got one in front of me, like desert rose. Use that can't go in water because it's really hard now, but it basically becomes brittle and will just crumble in your hands if you get it too wet. Learn if it can go in water. If it can't, leave them outside. I leave my crystals in the grass outside. Another really good thing is to put some of your crystals in a bottle of water, ideally a glass bottle if you've got it, but leave them in a bottle of water outside on a full moon, and you're not only charging the crystals, you're charging your water, and when you drink that water, you're putting that energy straight into you. Now, if you are using them more frequently than others, if you're using them to meditate or you're sharing them with people, and especially if you are using them to practice on, so if you're like a crystal healer, or you've got your own treatment room and there's crystals in it, this is when we need to incorporate some other charging methods. The most common one and the easiest one to do is saging or smudging. So I don't actually have sage on me, but I've got Palo Santo. It's a type of wood. Let me show you. I've got a candle lit next to me. I was prepared. Some are poisonous. That's touche, good shout. When it comes to putting crystals in water, stick to quartz. All the quartzes are a-okay, but, and when you say poisonous, you're probably talking about malachite. It's poisonous if you put it in water. I'd also recommend not putting any of the metals in water, like pyrite. It's actually, the lapis lazuli has pyrite in it, so you shouldn't put that in water, because it will start to rust given enough time, and the metals will like leach into the water. But in terms of smudging, you get your crystal. I'll use the same one that I had in my hand, and you just go over it with the smoke. And that is one of the things to remember with cleansing. If you are doing something physical, whether it's wafting smoke, that's my fiance in the background. No, you're right. I've heard of lavender smudging and I really want to try it, but I sell sage and Palo Santo, so it's what I've got. But it's more important about your intention. Your intention is the most important thing. If you cleanse your crystal and in your mind you go, thank you, release any negative energies you are holding on to, and allow yourself to be renewed. And in doing so, you completely cleanse that crystal in that moment. That is all the questions. I will show you my manifestation chart. Are you manifesting a ferret? See, this is where having a woman in your life, you have to make sacrifices. You're manifesting a garden. That is on there. With potatoes. That I have no doubt that there will be potatoes. I'll show you. Okay. That is my manifestation chart. And the reason I did this was I've been, and I mentioned it last week briefly, that I hate the fact that I get asked all the time, but how do I do that? And it's, hate's probably the wrong word, but like I do so many tarot readings now that I get the repeat. I tell them to relax. I tell them to embrace what's happening now, to become present, to be your true self. And they go, yeah, but how do you do that? And I never have an answer for it, because it took me 3 years to relax myself before I even delved into the spiritual side of things. And then I was meditating the other night. I think this was Thursday or Friday night. And I like basically asked the universe, I was like, how do you do it? What do you need to do to focus yourself and be your true self? And like in my mind, it just went, oh yeah, just put it all out on a bit of paper and then you'll know who you are. And I kind of went, oh, is it that simple? And so I spent, and I know this is tiny when you think about it, but that took me 3 hours. Looking up the photos, looking up who I was, what I truly want in this world. And the funny thing is, even though I've aimed it at things that would help me make money, I couldn't put money down. There was a point that I literally typed in money and I went, but the sacrifice in terms of who I am, the sacrifice for pursuing money uses up way too much time to have a family, to have a dog, to get the body I want. It wasn't worth it, and it didn't make it onto my list. And there is countless things. I used money because I'm sure it's something we all understand, but there were countless things that I hit on that, even though I want them, it's not who I am. Let me just quickly guide you through it. In terms of the things that my fiance has put on this list, we've got the kitchen with an island in it. We've got the sausage dog, which is my fiance's favorite animal. I want one, but I would have rather put a ferret on here. But now that it's on here, I will manifest that sausage for you. Like I said, we've got the gardening as well. That was both our things. And then I've got the family of 4 on a beach. We both love the beach. And then this photo here it's a dad with their baby, and he's playing a game. So it's just having a baby that likes gaming. So like that's the family stuff. And then I've got the more personal things. The perfect gaming setup. I really need to update my setup. I'm using a TV monitor and a laptop. And I've put a limit on this. I've said by the end of the year. And and the other thing that I've got on here that I didn't explain so far was this. This is a koi pond. It's like a Japanese setting. I've always, it's even in the donate section at the bottom. Like, I really want a koi pond wherever I move, even if I have to dig it out by hand, even if I have to install my own pumps. I'm creating a koi pond before I leave this world. So that's my manifestation chart. I hope this motivates you to do one for yourself. From me, stay kind, stay cute, stay curious, my friends. And I'll see you all very soon.